In this world, nothing ever ends. Everything transforms into something else. Which means the only true endings are the ones that we create. The final putt of a round. The winning moment at a tournament. The climax of a season. And the creation of a champion. The 2024 Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship starts now.
Hello and welcome to the beginning of the end of the 2024 season, folks. It is round one, front nine coverage of the MPO feature card here at the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championships presented by Barbasol. Big Jerm, Yules, BigBarri commentary, bringing you the action this week. We got some new swag to commemorate the end of the season. We have hoodies, t-shirts. So if you have had a good time this season, enjoying all the action, check these out. They're pretty cool. I'm wearing it. It's comfy. It's a hoodie. It's hoodie season.
Chilly out there.
It is. It was kind of chilly today.
Absolutely, but we got a sweet little front nine for you.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, these guys are going to be starting under par. It's like they played around already. Just the whole season of around.
Yeah.
Gannon, Buhr playing well all year. Obviously, you look at those numbers.
Well, I mean, historic season, I'd say. But
yeah, that's pretty well.
yeah, it's pretty well. Ricky Wysocki, three-time winner this season. He has been doing it all the way back. His winning ways on the Elite Series started back in 2011 when he won a major as a rookie, and he's still out there firing. Niklas, Antilla, arguably his best season, two-time winner on the Pro Tour this year, as consistent as ever, just a true staple in the Disc Golf Pro Tour scene these days. And of course, Mr. Reliable, Mr. Consistent, Calvin Heimburg. He doesn't even have to play well to shoot well. That's how good he is. I don't know how he does it.
Does that mean he rarely plays well? He's just all.
It looks like it sometimes. It looks like he's not doing anything right, and then he shoots a 1050 and all shucks in his way up to the top five finish every single week, it seems like. Well, here we are, folks. We're at Nevin Park at the Matt Keats Memorial, and hole one is a 419-foot par three. It's a blind tee shot from the tee. This was a newly added hole last year for the championship, and it's a tough get to start.
Is that his flippy roller?
A function? You know what? A roller does play on this hole. I
think it is.
think,
okay.
Yeah, it looks like he's got his roller discount.
I don't mind that play.
There's a lot of trees on this early corner. And that's where the trees are. But look at that fighting through. That's a great shot.
Yeah. Circle's edge, maybe a little inside.
Schlebach, goodness gracious. What a weird signature move.
I like it. Creeps me out, but I like it.
Oh, man.
I don't like it.
No
Ricky,
one likes it.
yeah,
That's why he does it.
I wish he didn't do it. Ricky.
Look at this low line.
Getting it turned over. Does it break through? If it does, he's got to look.
Yeah.
He's got to look.
Niklas, Antilla.
Niklas Antilla. Fun name to say. Fun guy to cover this year, man. He is just so smooth with it.
You rock the baby right into
That's gorgeous.
the basket.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, man, what a shot.
Calvin Heimburg.
It is a left to right shape, but the early gap actually is pretty well blocked by low hanging limbs. So you actually want to keep it pretty low to the ground, which usually suits Calvin pretty well.
This looks like it's burning, but his power is crazy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
It did burn. Okay.
That's fine. I mean, anywhere in the circle area, putting is fantastic.
Ricky from a knee, about 45.
Do you remember how he started the event last year on this hole? Oh my goodness. It seemed like every single round he was dropping a 60-footer in. This time, chains out left.
just outside the circle. Calvin for birdie.
Oh, also chaining out left and high. So take a look at those scores, folks. Those are the point totals that they are starting with the accumulation of points throughout the season. Niklas now at 9 under. So all year, players compete for points to give themselves an advantage at this one event. This year we have a 4-round stroke play event, and the only thing that's strange is the starting scores. Everything else, it's just normal disc golf. In the past, it's been who has the hot round moves on. None of that this year. Just straight stroke play. Everyone gets a look at birdie, but Niklas and Gannon are the only two to capitalize.
Pretty wide open hole, and then you kind of go into the woods.
Yeah, we don't really see wide open for a little while. It gives you a glimpse a few times at Nevin, but for the most part, what you're going to see here is what these guys are going to be dealing with for most of the rest of the course.
Yeah, a little left to right shot here. 366 feet, par 3. Tough backdoor sidearm. I think the optimal shot is a mid-range with a slight turn. Beat these trees and go to the right. That's the perfect shot. You will see people kind of sneak through left and right, and that's woods golf for you. Just get through, hit the initial gap, see what happens from there. And Gannon is going with that backhand play. Can he get it over? That's taking on that.
Oh, boy.
Yep. There's that leaning tree, and,
Yeah.
and that's the one right in the way.
And they've got that thing propped up this year with a really interesting setup there, so that way it does not fall. They like it there as an obstacle. That looks pretty good, but
Short.
it's not going to hyzer back enough to be parked, but it's a long look at it.
Yeah, that's the shot, and then let it just slowly drift.
Mm-hmm. Gannon could be in danger of a bogey. It's pretty rough off to that right side.
Couldn't agree more.
And
Oof. Yeah, that was looking good other than that. You have to take on that tree. Both of those leaners. You have to.
yeah, it's either you take on the leaners or you take on the one down the middle and just try to barely break it off to the right before it.
Yeah, these guys are too smart. They know
That's the middle one.
exactly where the gap is. And they all kind of peppered all around it.
This could be a very tricky up and down for Ricky. He's going standstill forehand. Finds a good gap, though. Oh, that's an excellent shot. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
That was excellent. Two-time reigning champion of this event, Ricky Wysocki, at this very course.
What makes him so good here?
Well,
Aside the fact that he starts off 9 under.
yeah, that makes anyone real good. Exactly. Oh, Gannon hits a tree, and he's going to be in serious danger of a bogey now. To answer the question, I think, I just think that sometimes there's horses for courses. Like Will Shoestrick really played well everywhere, but the USCGC seemed to fit his game, and that's why he won it 3 times. And so I think that just the way the line's set up, I think that they favor Ricky's preferred angles. He's also obviously a really good scrambler, and this course requires that element of disc golf. But he also does a really cool thing, and I think we talked about it a good bit last year, where he actually puts aside a few discs that he knows fly really well here, and he saves them for this tournament, which I think is a really interesting strategy. And Niklas, not really having that good of a birdie look, has to lay up.
Gannon card the bogey. Something about Gannon I've been thinking about. You go back, you look at the wooded courses that we play this season. Some of the ones that he didn't win. I'm curious to see if he can get through this one, because this is a wooded course. It's more of a hyzer flip. Hit your line initially and down the fairway. See how well he plays here this week. Because I always call it Vibram, but MVP Open.
Yeah, it's hard to shake that.
It's so hard, but MVP Open, Proctor comes back, gets the win. You think of Idlewild. Joey Buckets gets the dub.
Yeah, he's still always in the mix, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's the ones that he hasn't quite closed the deal.
Exactly.
And, we joked a little bit last year about how Gannon was bragging that he's a hyzer flip guy because he'd always been known for the big force over flexes. But playing in the woods like you have here in Nevin, you got to work all sorts of angles. The flex shot works great, but sometimes you need that hyzer flip shot. Sometimes you just need the flat ride. And I think one of the things that's really made him such a great champion this season is his ability to adapt his game to suit the course.
Sure.
Does it suit the woods here in Nevin? Well, we'll find out this week. Right now, he's sitting on a bogey. As we fly over hole 3, it's a par 4. It's a tough one. Up the hill, snakes. It's like a perfect S shape. You have to make the disc move left, but not too far left, because the second shot is so important to be in the fairway.
Niklas owns this hole.
Yeah. Until anyone else twos this hole, it's Niklas Antilla's hole.
Oh, speaking, that was pretty wooded where Niklas won too.
Yes, it was.
In Austin.
And Ricky, oh, what a fortunate kiss off the tree.
Oh, it gave him a little power booster.
Oh, it's right down the middle. That is a heck of a break there for Ricky. I mean, quite literally one of the first trees you can hit, and he just barely glances it right back to perfection. Calvin taking distance off the tee shot, and that's a peppermint swirl. What the heck? That was cool.
That old backspin pushing that X button.
It was a Huck Lab disc that looked like a Christmas candy.
Not quite Christmas time yet. Got to get past Halloween, which is more this color right here.
Gannon, good spot over there. Can be a little tricky though with the heavy woods on the left side. See what kind of gap he has left.
This is a tough throw right here.
Yeah, Calvin laying down the roller.
Rollies. Yeah, position play, I think. Gannon in this spot. He needs to throw. Yeah, I've been there. You've been there. I've seen you there.
For sure.
You got to pick a side.
It's tough.
Yeah.
That's a tough shot. You have to throw with a lot of power and hit a tiny gap.
He's in danger of going bogey.
Oh, big time.
Niklas for 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Gosh, what a great shot. I mean, that's a fantastic shot. I would call that a 9 out of 10. Now imagine making it.
It's unbelievable, really. He's going to need a killer shot from here. Very awkward. Oh, no.
Oh, doubles in play after that.
Yeah, for sure. There are some ways to scramble from there, but yeah, that's not good for Gannon. Certainly another bogey coming up here. And Ricky wide with a line. He's gotten fortunate on the tee and on the approach, and now he's got a lengthy look for the birdie.
Yeah, got fortunate. You kick left, and it's bad over there, too.
Yeah, that's right. And that's super low. So it'll be a look for the... Oh,
wow.
Wow.
Get scooting. Boot scooting boogie? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
Nailed it.
Thanks.
And Calvin will be happy with the par. A little surprised with his super overstable tee shot. It really didn't give him any chance at the birdie with that short of a tee shot.
Are you trying to spin one in there? He's always just kind of... If you stand right behind him, out of his hand, they all look really good, and it's just the amount of power that he puts on it. Did he put enough?
Niklas! It is still his hole. Wow.
He gave himself a little grin.
Yeah. Nice 2-under start for Niklas.
You know what? You say that he rocks the baby on the tee. He also does it with his putt. It's just like...
Everything. I'm always sleepy watching Niklas. And then Gannon wakes me up with loud dings off the top. So bogey, double bogey for Gannon Buhr, and the advantage that he worked so hard for the entire season is essentially gone immediately.
It's gone, yeah.
And we talked about it last week, but I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion at this point that he will be the player of the year. But he's playing for something else this week. We'll get to that in a second as we get to Isaac Robinson up on hole 5, going with the big flex forehand. And look at this one. Uli.
He's got it now.
He's figuring it out, man.
Yeah.
That was a great line, great weight, great angle, great result.
Ooh.
Great
Give me
result.
that.
Let's emphasize that now that it's in the basket. 3 under through 5, man. That's getting it done.
My buddies and I just helped grow the global disc golf community. Check it out. We got our favorite shirts at Quirky Goodies, and a percentage of the sales proceeds go to the Paul Macbeth Foundation. They build great disc golf courses all around the world. I picked up 3 shirts for myself. This one's my favorite. Hey, if you're like me and you're always looking for a discount code, use this one, JomezPro 15. That'll give you 15% off. QuirkyGoodies.com. Buy a shirt, make a difference.
As we fly down hole 4, I just want to finish up that thought about Gannon Buhr. He's competing for something that I don't think any of us really thought was in this generational possibility. And he is going for 200,000 yearly earnings from PDGA. And that's like running through the door of breaking a record. So if he gets top 2 this week, he will surpass 200,000 this year. And that's pretty remarkable.
Couldn't agree with you more. I think eventually what you and I have earned on the tour will, hopefully the dream is that somebody wins that and more in one tournament. I think that'll happen.
Yeah. It's funny to think that mid-season, Gannon, who at the time was 18 years old, had surpassed my entire career earnings. And I thought I had a good career, but it felt so insignificant with him just, scoring about $12,000 per win.
No, you got to be
It's pretty
proud
crazy.
of that because you were part of the reason how we got here,
Hole 4, par 4, 710 feet. You want to do something like that with Calvin, you'd like it to be flipped up and flying a little bit straighter, a little bit longer to be in
far.
position.
That's going to be 420 plus.
I think right around there. And this is also pretty conservative from Gannon. They're just trying to stay in the middle, but with hitting that tree, that's going to make the run-up, I think, a little bit tricky with that pile of rocks and also with the distance. Okay, so he's at least past the rocks, but still.
This is so far.
It's a far shot, and he is going off of bogey, double bogey in the last 2. And this one's not going to be a birdie.
Don't know where that went. I think it might have just went straight down-ish.
As long as it doesn't kick hard right, he's still in business for the par. But if you kick down right, we saw it a couple years ago with Ricky Wysocki, it can become a nightmare hole. You
Yeah.
can find a double bogey in there really quick. Oh my gosh, Ricky.
Gets really away with it.
Again.
Yep.
So just a little bit off. It seems like the card is, aside from Niklas Antilla, just not quite connecting yet.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the field is playing because although they are competing, there are several people behind them who start off pretty good. Starting at like 6 under, 5 under, 4 under, and if they can string along 2, 3 birdies in this stretch, all of a sudden you're pretty close with Gannon.
Yeah, giving them back.
Yep.
And Calvin's third shot's relatively close. He'll have that putt for the par. Ricky's got a little cleanup work here from the fairway. That finds an opening, but not parked by any means.
Not where you would want to be from where he was. You can get close.
Look at this shot here, though. It's like it forces you to go through that wide alley and hyzer back, and Niklas has done well there. But that's kind of a nervy little short shot because there's trees pretty much across the entire fairway. And if you hit any of them, you're sitting at 35 feet at the closest.
Yep. There is a big slope behind it. Here's Ricky. Circle's edge. Maybe a little shorter.
Yeah, and takes advantage.
Easy work.
Not an easy par putt, but boy, he...
Looked like it belonged.
Yeah, it caught it. And it'll be 4 pars for... It said, you know, our graphic at the beginning said feature group. This is not a feature group. These guys earned lead card. This is a lead card. This wasn't selected by some committee of people. These are people that did the best. So we're going to call it that.
Okay, we have Ezra dropping a bomb.
Oh,
What?
my... Paul, I didn't think we were going to... I thought we might not see a birdie on hole 6.
How about a drop in? Unbelievable. That's 500 plus.
Wait till we get to hole 6, folks, and then see how close our card gets and see if anybody puts one remotely close.
That's disgusting.
That is insanity. I don't know if you watched our practice round, but AB, Adam Hammis, and myself played triples. And between the 3 of us, the closest we were was 150 feet. I mean, that's great birdie there, Ezra.
Yeah. All right, hole 5, par 5, 1,052 feet. Really demanding tee shot. You got to get the height right. Slight hyzer down the hill. You have an OB down the left side the whole entire way, all the way down almost to the basket, honestly. But tee shot, got to keep it wide. You have a bush line you have to miss, probably about 500 feet down there. Then you try to just puncture into the woods, and it's a gradual left turn with 6,000 different ways to get down the fairway.
This is heading a bit right.
It's not good.
Needs to get out of that stuff.
It's funny because there is that spot right there is a nice collection area. Mm-hmm. If you pull it, it sticks out about 20 more feet than the rest of the fairway. Shorter than that, you're fine.
Yep. If this, oh boy, Paul, this is absolute dream shot.
Oh my goodness.
That is picture perfect.
Look where Niklas landed.
Yeah.
That's 150 past it on straight hyzer. He might almost be in the wood line. That's the farthest I've ever seen anybody get. Yeah. Farthest I've ever seen anybody get. This is going to be tucked off to the left. It might be inbounds, but yeah, there you go. It's going to be, that's tough.
The longest tee shot I ever saw on this hole goes all the way back to the 2010 Charlotte Amateur Championship when David Wiggins put one in the mouth of the gap with a boss and then threw a rock up to about 40 feet short for the eagle. He missed the putt, but he had the easiest birdie I've ever seen with a rock second shot.
So Niklas has to be really, really careful with this.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, he's playing a conservative turnover with something overstable. Really hard to do, but he does well.
Not really much else you can even try, I think, from that spot.
I like how he didn't like rip a roller or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, that doesn't seem to be Niklas's MO. Like he is, he's a pretty conservative guy. Calvin going for the big shot, finding one of the trees at the entry of the woods. Gannon finds
Perfect.
Down the hill.
That's just so good because he hits the initial gap. Who cares where it goes? Honestly,
yeah. I mean,
I think at that point you get within 250 feet here, you're gonna probably manufacture a way to get up and down ish.
Yeah, and Ricky's able to just go forehand turnover from that just absolute booming drive.
Yeah, he likes it. Yeah, see what I mean? That's bad, but look how close you are. It's almost like a baby throw.
I think that they're going to be just enough down the hill where I don't think they can go around those trees. I think they're going to have to go through them on their next shot, and that's out of bounds. Oh my goodness, Calvin.
He's done right there. Because he can't get up and down. You get over to the left side, and there's nothing.
No, there's no. I think he'd have to throw an incredible shot and then also get lucky.
Oh, boy, that was so good. Do you see how he stopped his arm from hitting the tree?
Whoa. Yeah, that was great. And I remember Niklas making a putt from right about there last year for the birdie. If he pulls a birdie out with that tee shot, that'll be something else.
Gotta be careful here because you need to go wide. He does. Okay. I thought he might be going superhero
another tree.
again down the middle.
This is about to be a big number for Calvin. It looks like double bogey at the best.
Yeah, see, it's a small gap, but you should throw. Never mind.
Yeah,
That's like a USDGC hole 1 size gap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe a little tighter, but yeah, it's not good over there to the right side. I'll put it that way. But you know that you're at least guaranteeing yourself a par, and this hole can be brutal. I mean, we're seeing it right now with Calvin. He's still got a tiny bit of work left for the double.
I agree, but we all saw the gap he was aiming at, and there was a way all the way to the hole. He needs to make that shot. Play catch.
Not
30 foot left.
Don't disagree. I don't disagree.
See, Ricky's similar position. He makes it happen. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I just said he makes it happen.
Obviously.
How big of a putt would this be for Gannon right now?
Probably about 100 feet.
This one's not going to go in, so slow start for Gannon Buhr. Niklas would really assert some dominance to make here.
Good line. Scary putt coming on that hillside. You miss a by bunch, and that thing rolls 50, 60 feet down the hill. Ricky, also big moment
Good
right there,
birdie.
and great birdie.
His first birdie of the round.
He goes monster drive, and then he just does Ricky Wysocki. He goes sidearm turnover. Most people would go backhand, but he's like, hey, if I get myself in within 250 feet, I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, this hole doesn't necessarily get broken with a good tee shot, but with a tee shot that good, you almost are breaking it. You're almost nearly guaranteeing yourself a birdie if you have a forehand like Ricky does with a tee shot that far and that much into the gap. But this hole can become, I mean, you saw 2 pars and a double. It does it to everyone.
Matteo on hole 7.
Look at that, the flex play.
It's going to be tight and short.
That's
helping.
Yeah. Every bit he gets farther down that hill is going to give him a better angle. Now he's got to go through the inside line, and it is a tight one.
Yeah, now this is really tight. Oh, no. Good try.
He did the sumo squat while it was midair.
He does all kinds of things.
He really does. He got really far through there.
I like how he runs left so he can see, so the disc never goes out of the basket. You know what I mean? He's running left to see it middle the whole time.
He's also a considerate player. I mean, he knows the camera's off behind his right shoulder, and if he runs right, then we're not going to see the shot. So I played with Matteo here a couple weeks ago for the Carolina Clash, the one that Joel Freeman just ran away with, by the way, which is just an incredible performance. 12 under final round is one of the most insane rounds I've ever seen out here. Slightly different layout, but Matteo shot a 9 under, which to me was a million under, and the guy's got the game for these woods here.
All right, roll us through hole 6 that we just saw Ezra.
You got the mandatory immediately off the tee. A big spike hyzer is really the only play. If you flip it up, you can get more distance, but you can also find out of bounds short. Ricky immediately doesn't like it because he throws it right. And I think that immediately takes birdie out of play. Like, decent shot for Ricky, good distance, but it's not nearly far enough left to really have access for that second shot. You have to.
Big Rick?
I just don't think.
Okay.
I just don't think it's far enough. Same for Niklas. A good conservative tee shot. And yeah, right there by Rick, but it's going to take a monumental roller to get there. The way to play is tight to this tree. Yeah, see that right there, I like a lot.
You got to have so much power to play it that high, that tight.
And there you go. So that opens up the opportunity, but I think you can see the basket off to the right side of your screen there, way off in the distance. I think Gannon's still going to be 450 to the pin, if not more.
Wider. Needs to beat those tree limbs. Barely
That's
does.
so much power. That is
So you think
much
these guys
power.
are all going to go roller? Or you think Gannon can get there with a 2-piece?
I think Ricky could from where Gannon is, but I don't know if Gannon can quite get there from there. Maybe, because he's been working on his forehand. But Ricky goes big, and he is a circle 3. Good cut, but this is heading way too far left. This could be in some danger of finding OB. Oh, it's just riding the line the whole way.
Safe.
Yeah. They give you a little bit of
Pin
a bailout
high.
zone down the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, pin high. Not too bad. Flippy roller here. Hugs it tight. I like this a little better. If it cuts.
I want it to cut more. If this gets over the hill, it's almost guaranteed out of bounds. And that fence line is the OB line, so I don't know.
There's a guardian tree there too. Even if he is in bounds, it's
you don't.
no make.
No make. And consensus is out of bounds. Gannon is more than likely going to take another bogey, and he is going to find himself at 3 over par, raw score, through the first 6.
Heiser flip, late turn, then Heiser back, and probably go deep.
Yeah. There's a par 5 position that Calvin would be inside circle 2. That's where we played the Clash a couple weeks ago.
Layup here?
I think it's a smart play. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a lot farther than I thought. He just had that look.
It's just on the mound, you don't need to play with that right now.
Especially with the leader, this Gannon.
Yeah,
who
the former leader.
Started with the lead in big time trouble.
He doesn't seem, even though he's not putting birdies on the board, he doesn't seem impatient. It is a 4-round event, and I think that's something that we've seen with him this year is that he knows the cream rises. And so far this season, he's been the best player. So more likely than not, he's going to find himself in the mix as long as he doesn't do anything too crazy.
Yeah, maybe the worst thing for him was come in with the lead because he always likes to just kind of work his way back. Calvin, good.
Good putting stroke. And so all these pars and a Gannon bogey, maybe that'll help give you a little better perspective on how nasty that approach was from Ezra Robinson just a few moments ago.
Yeah, he went wide too, wide left, which gave him the height to get the full turn.
And then hit the base.
So we got a tie up at the top. Let's check it out. We got Niklas, Isaac Robinson. Watch out for that guy. He likes this place as well. And don't take your eyes off James Proctor.
The only other player in the field to birdie hole 6.
And he's a woods master.
Yeah, well, and he's also got some confidence now, man. 2-time winner on the tour this year. Really just maybe we thought last year was his year to get wins, but this is the year he's finally got over the hump and taken a couple down, and MVP's pretty well wooded.
Yes. We saw Matty Oath show you what to do here. Sidearm off the tee. There is out of bounds left. Ricky's done great.
Yeah,
This is great.
That's not many players are getting that far down there.
No.
His forehand is so good.
It's so far that I question this play right here just because
The fade.
not the fade, the kick.
Well, I'm worried about the Heiser back because the creek does come into play.
No, that's as good as you.
That's really good. And he is so controlled and smooth with it that he can do that kind of play. But a lot of players who, once they crest that hill turning, will hyzer back and find their way in that OB line.
Yeah, I don't suggest the backhand to anybody. That's out of bounds.
That was it. He kicked out of bounds, right?
Yes.
It looked like an Annie kick.
It wasn't a great shot, but he ended up kicking the boot.
And I don't.
Or he booted the kick. He got a kick boot. The boot kicked him.
Sometimes you kick a boot, I think.
Gannon with a good roll down the
Very
hill.
good.
He's in fine position right there.
He needs something to go his way right now. I mean, right now it's been a lot of the red stuff for him.
Yeah, and a lot of people on this card, aside from Niklas, are kind of letting him get away with it. They're not really killing it, you know?
That's a good shot for Calvin. It is hard to get any sort of a look up the hill, but I agree. They're not really running away with it. Niklas, 2 early birdies and just pars the rest of the way.
What is classified as a good round here? That's amazing that he just went backhand, by the way.
I think you start feeling pretty good about yourself. At the 4 to 5 under, I think you're feeling really good. You shot a good round. But when you're like winning tournaments at this level, I think 7 under is when you start to feel like you're gonna.
You did something special.
You did something really good.
It's a fine line at this course between, okay, I played good and great. It's only a few strokes.
That was a very much needed approach for Gannon. He will have a short birdie, and Ricky hits a little limb or one of those little tiny saplings coming into the green. Still has a good look for it, and what a huge save this would be for Calvin if he was able to knock this putt down.
A little heavy on the want right there.
So Calvin will be 3 over for the round after he taps in that bogey. Was there any question?
It looked high. Then it started diving like a missile. Watch how high he gets this. That's double the height of the bat. Well,
I think the initial camera angle was lower than it typically is and made it look like he lofted it up there. But yeah, he trusts his height. And that's something that Ricky's always been so good at. He knows how high he has to pitch it at each foot interval all the way back to, 150 feet.
Gannon gets on the board. All right, he has 2 birdies.
Like, it's a little different for Gannon because his distance putt is so fast that he can keep it, relatively within the confines of the height of the basket, and it's just kind of zipping through. But with Ricky, he puts a little bit more loft in those longer putts, and so to get the height right just really comes down to impeccable feel. Three players at 11 under now. Isaac Robinson joins Niklas and Ricky. Or Ricky and Niklas join Isaac. Either way, they're all at 11. This is one of my favorite holes in Charlotte.
Yeah, it's good, aside from the
Telephone.
hole.
Yeah. If those were just trees and that wire was vines, I don't know.
Yeah.
It would be incredible. But yeah, I don't like that part about it. But as far as just a fun downhill shot at 462, it's hard to find a better shot than this.
Hole. It says 19.
Why does it say 19? They change the numbers out here so much, it's hard to keep up.
See if these guys can ride the line. Nope, too low. This is going to be really good if it beats the right side.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those little tiny limbs and trees over there. That's why I worry about it.
I almost don't want to say anything about it until they're past the hole, but I'm kind of evil, so I'll say it. One thing I haven't seen in a very long time, and I feel like I used to see it all the time, is somebody hit one of those looping telephone wires. Niklas isn't going to hit anything besides the board next to the basket with that tee shot.
Yeah, like the loopers.
You're going to see the loop come into the screen right there. You see that guy?
Yeah.
It's like right in the line you want to throw. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to see it, but I'm just saying I haven't seen it in a long time. I used to see it all the time. Come on, hit the wires.
Looks the same as Rick. He's got to get a good break around the backside.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's a good break around the backside.
And just like that, Gannon Buhr is back in it. Trying to fight to get back to even. He's going to need one more birdie to get back to even par for the round.
And this is not an easy birdie.
Oh, by
They
no
are
means.
making it. They are peppering the green right now. This is,
3 incredible tee shots so far.
yeah, I mean, it's 462 feet to control a disc dead straight with telephone wires and telephone poles that you have to beat.
Calvin's going to be probably pretty close to pin high, if not past it.
That's so good, too. See, you'll
Yep.
take that one.
That-
If I play the hole the rest of my life, I would take that spot.
Oh, for sure. You kidding me?
But these other guys are making it look like a bad shot. It's not. This is a great shot.
I thought Ricky would be first up, but Calvin goes for it and knocks it in. Man, I'm thinking we might have a star frame here, depending on how close Ricky is.
It is probably top 3 easiest holes on the course.
That's crazy to think. No. Surprising.
What is it?
No,
Coming in
it's actually on the harder half.
at? Okay.
It plays 0.03 below par, so it's a pretty decent
How many
spread.
birdies, I guess I should ask.
Well,
I should ask
the
that.
spread is
There's-
24% birdies, which is 8, 17 pars, and 8 bogeys,
Wow, that
and
is
1 double.
very surprising to me. Proctor from deep. Really deep.
And look at all those birdies on his scorecard.
60 feet deep.
Oh, 4 in a row.
that.
7 of the last 8 for James Proctor. Are you kidding me? This course does not allow people to get on streaks. That is sick. Oh, that's a really uncharacteristic miss there for Ricky Wysocki. Otherwise, that would have been a pretty classic star frame for our lead group. Yeah, I think the thing that makes that hole have a little teeth is that ditch at the bottom of the hill is out of bounds. And if you don't get the height right, or even if you do, there's some trees on the other side of the creek that you can hit and find that OB creek. And so the bogey's pretty much guaranteed at that point. On to hole 9, dogleg right, par 4. Only 580 feet, but if you find yourself early right, you're pretty much dead to rights. You're going to take a par or a bogey or worse. So you have to keep it straight and just ever so slightly get it to bend off to the right off the tee.
I want one of these guys to just go at it. High turning
I would
turnover.
love to see it.
You know what I mean? Beat the corner.
That was heading to a really nice
This
spot.
is the Isaac Robinson hole. Last year, putter. Just kind of bouncing down the hill the same way every round. Remember? Maybe it was 2 years ago, but
No, I think you're right.
I remember that happening. This is the right play. Sidearm around the corner.
Yep. And this is what happens a lot of times with the forehand. It skips down and then it just kind of hooks back into just off the fairway. It's not a bad spot to be, but the best way to stay in the fairway the whole way is this shot right here, the backhand turnover.
Calvin, if you're watching this, which I know you're not, make the lead card for final round and then just yeet that flippy eagle for me.
Just yeet it, dude.
As high as you can, Annie. I think you can get there. Hurry.
The only way that
Correct.
he'll see this is if this gets clipped as an Instagram reel and we tag him every day for 3 days.
Nice. Ricky.
Okay.
Not good.
That's somewhere in Pennsylvania.
As good as they make them right here. Makes the fairway really big. Just
Yeah.
got to beat the log.
The log is,
Undefeated
he's not quite there. The
sometimes.
log itself at the closest point is about 52 feet away. And I don't think he quite got there, so. Back edge to C2 for Niklas.
Yeah, not his best effort, honestly.
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see him come up short. Calvin going with the forehand, which you got to be careful with it because it can fade away as that hill slopes from left to right and downhill towards an out-of-bounds creek. Gannon kind of fighting up with an interesting shot, and he's going to have a downhill look at it.
Fun putt from there. One, you can't lay up.
Yeah, you really can't.
It's funny. It's dangerous. But you can't lay it up. It's like on a perfect slope to where it's like, yeah, it's not that dangerous, but it really is.
It's super is, and you can see those white stakes long. Those are pretty close to the basket, and they are OB.
Yeah, I think those stakes are at a perfect distance to where you don't worry about it too. You kind of calculate the roll. You're like, probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Calvin's calculating it. And he misses left side. And
how's your calculations?
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Good.
Carry the 3. Stop right there.
Not the par putt you want, though.
No, this is not the par putt you want either. Ricky from 60. Ricky Wysocki from 60. Cans it, saves the par.
Never going to see excitement from him when it's a par putt. If he made that for birdie, he'd already be running after it. I'll say that.
That was as cool, calm, and collected as you're going to see Ricky Wysocki on a big putt like that. You know, he obviously loves the energy, but that one was all business.
That was awesome.
And Gannon.
Oh.
He's going to find himself back edge of C1.
If Gannon's staying in bounds, I give green light to the field. He airballed, he's in bounds.
He missed it
green
low.
light.
He didn't go at it full bore, but he gave it a little bit of a bid for sure.
Yeah, see?
Ooh.
Easy peasy.
The look away mid-flight.
Nobody has got caught
All right.
yet. We need to move that OB in a little tighter, I think.
It's the only solution.
Yeah, all jokes.
Make it harder.
No, great. Good putting.
All pars. Everyone makes a nice putt for the par. Almost felt like Ricky's was for birdie, but
Yeah.
he had a little bit of a scramble there. And in the end, Niklas, Antilla, and Isaac Robinson tied at 12 under. James Proctor working his way 7 under is fantastic, and he still has five holes to go.
Yeah, you
4 holes to go.
Look at this leaderboard. The top 10. I think woods golfers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those guys. You don't want to catch them in the woods, otherwise it's going to be a long tournament for you. And so it's going to be exciting, man.
All right. Well, front 9 done. Round 1. We got back 9 coming right up. See you in a bit.